Hello, everybody. I am The Worm. This is Raging Loop. We are back in the middle of a very tense scene. Unfortunately, it appears that Kaori-san has broken and has decided to take her rage and sadness and despair out on the rest of us. And she is currently in the process of lunging toward Kinosuke with a poisoned knife after attempting to poison us with the food she was making, which contained wolfsbane, but fortunately Kinosuke was able to identify that, and so she is resorting to more direct methods. So that's where we are right now. Other than that, there were quite a few conversations, a couple big ones, I should say. Haruaki had a nice conversation with Haru, where they kind of bonded a bit over people they care about. Haru caring about Yasunaga and Haruaki caring about Chiemi, and both of them wanting to be there for them. And then there was a very important discussion that took place between Haruaki and Chiemi, where Haruaki urged Chiemi to action, because things have already been desperate, but now it's getting to the point of no return, essentially. And so he advised her to basically take the fight to the wolves, and told her that the most likely wolves are Yasunaga and Haru. And within that conversation, he also talked about how all the different crazy things that have been happening, all the different deaths, are likely caused by the wolves. We have their direct murders, which would be Kanzo and Takumi, but also all the corruption deaths, minus maybe the journalists. All the corruption deaths besides them may have been caused by the wolves as well, just indirectly. And the big example that he used for that would be convincing Rokako to kill the old man and Mochi, or maybe the old man and Mochi got into a fight, one of them died, and Rokako killed the other one. He also suggested that Rokako herself might be a wolf. But in any case, it seems he's pretty clear on it being Yasunaga that is at least one of the wolves, which would be terrifying. You know, we've been having some conversations in the comments, and those have been fun for me. I know part of why I've started to do Let's Plays at all was because I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it, and so having people give their opinions and things is interesting. And one thing we talked about in the last episode was how certainly if it's the case that Yasunaga is the wolf, you know, not only is he clever, intelligent, but it's his central position within all these interpersonal relationships. He's friendly with Mochi and Haru, brother of Yoshitsugu, son of Kaori, respected by pretty much everyone else. You know, he's seen as the mediator. He's in such a central position that it would be very bad. And one example I'd like to bring up would be last episode we saw Kaori, as she was preparing food, she asked Yasunaga to fetch something for her, and you know, who knows what that could have been. Maybe it was the poison, maybe it was but basically the point is, how terrible would it be if it ends up being Yasunaga, if he is aiding his mother in basically her madness, you know, even pushing her mother to do this sort of thing. It'd be awful. We did see a little scene of Yasunaga and Haru together upstairs, and Haruaki kind of took it to mean maybe they were getting intimate, but I would worry that maybe they were planning or getting something ready to further their, murderous aims. I find it a bit strange Haruaki didn't take that into account, considering he was just suspecting them not too long ago. But in any case, here we are. We are in the next crisis, and we have to make a decision. Now, here's my thought. Tackle her, I'm guessing, will probably lead to Haruaki's death. And, because even if we stop her, it's a poison knife. We could just get, just a cut, and we could be put out of action. And to find the nearby weapon, I'm guessing that will probably mean that she'll get to Kyonosuke. So either way, I'm assuming, one of us is going to die. Now, the game has told me, it has advised me to not be afraid of bad ends and deaths. So I think I want to go with the direct option. I will go for it. And if it's a bad end, it's a bad end. But that might be key to learning something. Who knows? So we'll do that. We as Haruaki may have looping powers somehow. So let's be brave and try to stop this before it can get out of control. Here we go. I don't know why I moved when I did. I was a man of words, not of impulse. In times of crises, I was the type to turn tail and run after making some sort of parting threat. I shouldn't have been on good enough terms with either Kinosuke-shi or Kaori-san to risk my life for them. Yet when I came to my senses, my body was dancing, charging straight for Kaori-san with my right shoulder. And after a brief struggle, we collapsed. I heard her let out a strained cackle in my ears. I had to change my posture. Unless I pinned her knife to hand down, I'd... Ooh. But in the end, it turned out I really wasn't cut out for the job. These roundabout thoughts were just delaying the inevitable. When the madly laughing woman embraced me, my thoughts ground to a complete halt. Ooh, she'd stabbed me right in the back. Simple as that. To her, I was just another obstacle that had to be removed. I didn't know if the wound itself was fatal, but I could tell that the blade had sunken incredibly deep, and that it was coated in a leaf green poison. It must have been a near instant death. My mind quickly grew hazy, yet my final moments were those of self-reflection. Reckless actions really aren't my forte after all. Bad ending number 5. Number 5, you say? Huh. I feel like... Well, we know bad ending number 1. Or was that number 1? I assume it was number 1. The one where we left the outhouse? Huh. That's interesting. But really, not surprising. Not surprising. Watch Hint Corner? Sure. We know they're okay to watch.
やっちまったな大将
seems so. Sheep.
こいつはいただけねえ早速ヒントをくれてやるぜ今回のバッドエンド5題してど素人の無謀な攻撃が呼んだ当然の結末で毒死についてだが
Hey, you say reckless, I say brave.
妻子春明のやつは別に武道家でも何でもねえただの素人だ
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
そもそも武術かじった人間なら武器持ったやつからはまず逃げるっつうぜ。武器の怖さをよく知ってるからだ。
So I should act in character is what you're saying.
都市格闘もののアニメや漫画じゃ軽視されがちだが、現実では武器ってのは素手の何十倍も有利かつ危険なんだ。
It's very true.
その場のノリで突っ込めば相応の報いを受ける。まして今回は相手が即死クラスの毒まで併用してるときた。
Okay, sure, understandable, but listen, game, you told me to not be afraid of death here. Come on.
どう考えても逃げるが最上。ただそれがままならねえなら、せめて相手よりリーチの長い武器を探しな。
Look, all this is very reasonable. I totally get it, but, you know, I just wanted to take the chance. We're a looper, you know? If anyone has to take a chance, it would be us, right?
つうわけで当然の結末。同じ場所3、黄泉の9、毒殺を止めよでもう一方の選択肢を選ぶこと。
Yeah, yeah.
よし、今回はここまで。次も元気に死んでこい。
And then you tell me that. Sure. Make up your mind, game.
そういう夢だったってわけだ。次はもっとうまくやれ。
Oh my goodness, wait a second.
羊が1匹。
Wait a second. Wait just a second. I just realized something. Well, maybe not realized, but maybe made a connection. Now, I don't think like the sheep character, you know, the sheep character that we see in Hint Corner, that's not a thing. You know, it's in story. It's speaking directly to me, the audience. But now that we know that one of our characters may either be a sheep or directly related to sheep, there was, pardon if I don't say your name. On the one hand, I don't think I can recall it at the moment, but two, I'm a bit hesitant just to say people's names on the internet. If you're okay with it, that's one thing, but I'm hesitant to do that in general. But I think you know who you are if I'm talking about this. We were having a conversation, and we were wondering, you know, where did these... well, we were basically talking about Mako, the sheep child who keeps making the ba noises, or I guess in Japanese, meh. And we were talking about how, you know, she, was it last episode of I guess it was last episode, yeah. She was drawing a bunch of figures on the ground. And when she said she drew herself, it was Haruaki commented that it was a creature with 4 legs. And obviously my thinking is it has to be a sheep. And, you know, who knows what that could mean at the moment. And actually, yeah, I can't believe I forgot. I said last time I was going to talk about this. I just forgot to talk about it. We're talking about it now. Mako's Ho story. It was similar to the story we heard about the Kame Fujiyoshi Guardians, but also very different. And they were different animals. One of which is probably the sheep, who is apparently running from the wolf. And now we just had this thing where Haruaki dies. And, you know, the Hint Corner, that's one thing. But even if you didn't watch the Hint Corner, if you skipped it, I'm pretty sure you see that one scene where, you know, it's like all the letters and numbers going across the screen, and there's a sheep that says 1 sheep, 2 sheep. Yeah. as part of the discussion we were having in the comments, I was thinking the fact that Rokako keeps apologizing to Haruaki, that I would thought maybe it was her who somehow pulled him into all this, the looping thing. But certainly now, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna devote myself to this, but I will say the fact that when Haruaki dies, he sees a sheep. I think that's a point in favor of the idea that somehow it might have been Mako that got Haruaki his looping powers, at least. Intentionally or unintentionally, I'm not sure which. But yeah. Wow, okay. Interesting. Let's go. No, don't do this. Oh yeah, okay. Man, this is all part of one chapter? My goodness. How many chapters are there? Don't answer that, of course. It's just a rhetorical question. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alrighty. More cautious. Yep, and more reasonable choice. Let's find a nearby weapon. I had no idea why my body began to move. I grabbed the nearest chair without even thinking about it. It was old, wooden and heavy. Picking it up made me lose balance for a bit. I pointed its legs at the would-be murderer and dashed forward as fast as I could. A crash, a cry of pain, a scream. Amidst the cacophony, I attempted to keep Kaori-san pinned down. I passed the edge of the chair and against her knife arm, and she cried out in pain, and the blade clattered to the floor. Shemi quickly clicked it away. Oh, wow. Crisis over. My goodness. Good work, Haruaki. In hindsight, it all happened in a mere matter of seconds. In fact, tying her up was way harder, what with her foaming at the mouth and struggling. In the end, we bound her limbs and gagged her to silence her bloodthirsty screams. Man, so we have a zombie outside in the village, and we have a bloodthirsty madwoman in here. This is just not our day, I must say. With that done, we had no choice but to face reality.
僕がこれを切り出すのはどうかと思うけど、どうするんです？これは。
What do you even do about this is the question. 6 of us stood in the mists right outside the dining hall. Kaori-san was locked inside.
ねえ、織部さんも読み人になってしもうた。
Now I'm not sure I agree with that. At least in Rakako's case. In Rakako's case, she seemed abnormally strong. And yeah. Maybe Kaori is in the process. But man, I don't know how this stuff works. I don't know how corruption works. It seems inconsistent sometimes. I don't know the rules.
違う、そんなわけない。母さんはちょっとおかしくなってるだけだ。
香織さん、やっぱり無理してたんだね。
I think it's just the better explanation is just that she's gone mad and is broken from the stress, and she lost Yoshitsugu, and she's just in this terrible situation. So I could understand someone breaking because of that.
当たり前でしょ。母さんが義継をどれだけ大事にしてたか。
Apparently very important.
あいつはバカだし、喧嘩っ早くて手がかかるやつだったけど。いや、だからこそ母さんはあいつを一番大事にしてた。父親に似て無謀だって母さんは何度も言ってたから。
うん。
母は 僕が責任を持って落ち着ける。みんなどうか今日のことは許し。
宴で決めるべきだ。
待ってください。これは宴とは関係ない個人の暴走です。分けて考えるべきだ。
どうしてそう言える？ご婦人は確かに汚れによって狂気を得たのかもしれん。
野里さん、
霧の中のことは宴で決めるべきだ。でないと汚れるかもしれん。
Okay.
そうですな。
わかりました。行きましょ
We're just doing it now?
ダメだ。このままだと香織さんが殺されるぞ。安永君。
う。させませんよ。僕、久石さん。母を見ていてください。
Well, that's quite a request.
僕はフリーでいいのかい？
No one replied. Apparently, it didn't matter anymore.
ちえみちゃん、
Hey, Chimmy. Are your eyes different than normal? She was making the same face she did whenever she talked about God.
やっぱりこうなった。
What, you mean this? With Kaori-san? This specifically? What do you mean? Strangely enough, there was emotion in her eyes. I could see 90% resignation and 10% fear. Watching me until she finally passed out of sight, she followed the others toward the hall.
酒はどこにあるんだ？
Wow, look at this group. Oh boy. I wasn't sure I was expecting to do the feast so soon, but here we are. Let's do it.
そんなのもういいじゃないですか。
清めるのは大事よ。ほれ、野里様。
Okay, so we're thinking Yasunaga and Haru. Man, it's for me, it's so difficult to keep in mind all the communication stuff that Haruaki basically prepped us for. So it's if the people are giving useless information, that's a sign. I don't know if I have the communication and intelligence to follow along like this.
いただく。回るな。
Obviously, Kyo and Meiko are our innocents. Haruaki wants Chami to be innocent.
ちいちゃんも。
I am so curious. No, let's just keep going. Her eyes are definitely different than normal, right?
やすくん。あんたは舐めるだけ。
お姉ちゃんは？
植松様はもうダメじゃ。
私世話するわ。どうせ無駄。
Ooh. Yeah.
知恵ねえ、しっかりしてよ。
では始めるが、私は織部夫人をくくるのに一票入れたい。
Wow. No preamble, huh? Just let's do it.
根拠は何です？
彼女は危険だ。
じゃあ僕は植松里香子さんに1票入れますよ。根拠は危険だからです。
Parry and thrust.
他の各位はどう考えるのかね。仮投票だ。決定じゃないとしてだ。
Doesn't back down.
あたしはどっちもくくるべきと思っておりますよ。
私今頭回ってない。
植松里香子をくくるべきよ。香織さんは話せばわかるかもしれないけど、あっちはもう化け物じゃない。
お前はどうなんだ、子供。
お姉ちゃん、香 べるの？
何を言ってる。いいか、お前の好きなリカコさんを守りたいなら織部香織をくくるのに投票しろ。
Just to comment on this, I think I was going to mention it earlier and just forgot. Part of my, just thinking about this is it's the fact that Haruaki himself, the game essentially, is bringing attention to the possibility of Yasunaga and Haru being the wolves. It makes me, like, just from listening to his reasons and following along the story myself, I kind of want to agree with that. But part of me wants to pull away from that because it's the game telling me that. But of course that's not reasoning based on the evidence. That's more meta reasoning, So I don't. It's tough to say because the question is, if this is a mystery game, particularly if it's a mystery game that wants you to solve it, would they just give you the answer? And again, I don't know how long this game is. I have no idea. So I don't know if there'll be multiple. We'll go back in the past, obviously, at some point. But I think I've asked this several times, or at least I've mused about it. What if we get to go back at some point and the roles change, like we get different sets of wolves and stuff. That would be absolutely crazy. But and I think it's sort of it has to be that way at some point because otherwise. This looks like the game's gonna be the wolves win, and when the wolves win, we'll know who they are because they'll be the last ones, won't they? So if you know who they are, then the game's just over essentially, right? Because then well, I guess then there's uncovering all the supernatural stuff is going on, but I don't know. I don't know which direction the game's going to go in, is where I'm at, basically. And that kind of... it's kind of hampering my ability to, make a decision on who I'm Furbin, who's the wolf or not, basically.
無理ですよ。分かりっこない。危険が3人。あとは2対1。決まったようですね。
ふざけるな。わざわざ移り住んでまで安水に身を尽くした彼女に対して、これが安水の恩の返し方か。
それは。
というか、聞かせてくれませんか。母は取り乱してはいるけど、話は通じる。説得の可能性はあります。植松さんはあれじゃ獣と同じじゃないですか。投票だってもうできない。読み人なんですよ。母とは違う。仮に今日母をくくったとして明日はどうするんです？植松さんを何とかする手はあるんですか？決まりですかね。
なんと短絡的な血縁者ゆえのひいき目かもしれんが、対極的なものが何も見えていない。
何ですって？
考えてもみろ。我々はあくまで狼を全滅させねばならんのだ。優先度からすればそっちの方が先だ。読み人は狼ではないのだろう。であれば彼女は狼でないと証明されたも同義なのだ。
Well, we're pretty sure we know what happens to humans who break the rules. They get, I think the term Haruaki used is slaughtered, but, torn up into pieces, essentially. Now, we don't really know what the distinction here is between those guys, the ones who got slaughtered, versus Rikako. But I guess it's... Where am I going with this? I guess... Does a corruption... I guess the corruption does come for the wolves if they break the rules. But would a wolf ever break a rule? It's again where I don't understand the nature of what these wolves are. Are they capable of breaking the rules? You know, are they the people, or are they, I don't know, I don't even know, shapeshifters? Possessing them? I just don't know. Anyway, the point I want to get to is Haruaki made the point in the conversation last episode that, you know, it could have been a weird thing where Rikako-san was the wolf and broke the rules to assist the other wolf. Although I think he then said that would be terribly inefficient and it wouldn't be a good move. But again, we don't know the nature of the wolves. Like, is it possible for the wolves to make bad decisions? You know, are they irrational? So maybe there could be a scenario in which a wolf broke the rules and got corrupted because of it, or something. I don't know. So, but well, wait. I thought wolves were Yomibito of a sort. Isn't it in the story the wolves got killed by the villagers and the guardians or something? And so they went to Yomi and were thus Yomibito, or are they just on the side of the Yomibito? Okay. I don't know. I don't have an answer for this.
は？どういうことです？
Oops, sorry.
伝承を思い出してみるがいい。狼とは世持つ狼。すでに黄泉の汚れを負った存在なのだ。
Yes, okay.
その上さらに読み人になるなど考えられるかね?
Okay, so they're beings corrupted by Yomi, but they're not Yomibito. They're on the same side as the Yomibito, but they're not Yomibito.
山脇さん、どう思われるか?
それはそうかもしれんですが。
こういう仮説はどうかね。強い汚れを受ければ斬死する。あの取材者たちや君の弟のように。しかし一方、弱い汚れは狂気となり、狂ったお守りが狼で、狂った人が読み人だ。
Mad Guardians are wolves? Mad humans are Yomibito, I get that. Okay.
つまり汚れの罰は狼にとって斬死のみを意味し、人には読み人と斬死の二通りあり得る。
What is this ore business? I guess the corruption just flips a coin? What's the deal here?
ご都合主義な妄想だ。
そう、証明する手立てはない。しかし最もらしさを積み上げることはまだできるぞ。
Okay, go for it.
もし狼が汚れで狂うというのならば、あんな姿になるのかね。人の皮をかぶった獣が狂ったならば。私は獣は本性を表すと思うがね。毛むくじゃらな本性を。リカコさんはそうなったかね。なっていない。
You know, I think he has a point here. We did, in fact, Haruaki, when he went out of that outhouse in one of the endings, we did, in fact, see a wolf. Is that what happens every night? Do the wolves actually turn into wolves? So maybe. I mean, his guess is as good as mine at this point.
それはそうかもしれんです。それじゃあ香織さんを先にすべきなのかね。
耐えば
野里さんはおとぎ話を前提にして話してる。実際に人が死んでいるのにだ。こんなの馬鹿げてるでしょ。
馬鹿げているのはどっちだ。 汚れの恐怖を認めるならば、それは伝承を認めるということだ。そら私は認めたぞ。汚れを恐れつつ伝承を軽んじるのは二重基準ではないかね。
I mean, you're not. He's not talking nonsense.
知恵ね
Oh, she's done. She's just done.
私は神様が怖い。こうして全てを手のひらの上でもてあそんでいる神様が怖い。
何を言ってるの知恵ね
それでも、いや、それだからこそ。
Sorry. I don't intend to skip them. It's just
何を言ってるの知恵ね
怖いものと戦わなきゃならなくて、戦うには武器が必要で。
What do you mean?
春明さん、
なんであいつ
私はヤス君、君に投票する。
Ooh. Okay. We're going there. She's doing it. I thought she was done. She's not done.
何を知恵ね
意味がわからんぞ、芹沢。
野里さん、ここから確定票を取って。いつまでも話し合っても無駄でしょ。
She's got the shine back in her eyes. Let's do this.
それはしかし、
いつかやらなきゃならないことだ。それに知恵ねが確定票を入れるなら僕らが入れないのはアンフェアだ。でも許せるかどうかは別だよ知恵ね。
分かってる。
異論はないか。では
私の考えを言う
Dang
ね。
it.
野里さんの言い分は半分まで正しい。この場は狼を探すために使うべき。
Sorry, Kyo.
異論はないか。ではこれから確定票とする。
ただその論拠が昔話の解釈なのは論外。モッチーや狼じじいや匠兄ちゃんは人間に殺されてるんだ。ならば昔話じゃなくて今まであったことを振り返って考えるべき。それで私は考えた。まず私と同じように優先順位をちゃんとつけられる人はこの中で誰か。
Purpose of the feast is to find out the wolves, right?
野里さんはさっき言った通り、メイコちゃんは若すぎて無理。はるちゃんはぶっちゃけ野里さんへのアンチとヤス君の味方をするだろうって思っ
That's
た。状
definitely
況に
true.
関わらずね。
うん
タイばあちゃんはきっと伝説やら何やら中心で語るだろうって分かってる。一等信心深い人だからね。じゃあヤス君はどうだろう。辛いこともあったし、今はお母さんがくくられる寸前で焦る気持ちはわかる。だけどその対抗としてリカ子さんをくくる方向で進めちゃうのはどうか
Yeah,
な。
what if Haruki's right in that he used Rikako somehow, you know? And now he just wants to get rid of her. But, well, I'm not sure that makes sense. Chemi, tell me your thoughts.
安水の人間なら確かに長者をくくる方向に誘導するのは簡単かもだけど、君には優先度ってものが分かってるはず。怪し読み人なきに千なんて言葉より前に直接の脅威になり得る狼を探すべきってね。私の知ってるヤス君は切羽詰まっても理屈っぽくそんなことを言う人だった。
知恵ね言いたいことは分かったよ。僕はこいつが許せないんだ。え、あなたが適当なことを言って場をかき回すもんだから匠兄も義継もモッチーも殺された。この後に及んで次は母さんだというあなたが許せないんだ。
ちょっと兄ちゃんどうしたの落ち着いて。
ああそうだね 優先度なんて忘れてた。僕はこいつの鼻を明かしたかった。それでハルちゃんを利用したのさ。知恵姉が言った通り、僕の本性はそれだけのつまらない人間だよ。これでも不満なの、知恵姉？
そうだね、らしくないとしか思わない。
Mm. And of course, she would know him a lot more than I or Haruaki would.
ヤス君、これはきっと疑心暗鬼だと思う。でも言うね、香織さんが食事を出した時、安永君と春ちゃんはいなかったよね。
It's true, it's true.
もし他の人があれで全滅してたら、残るは君たち2人だった。あとは春明さんか。もしあなたが狼だったら、とても楽な展開だよね。
僕が母さんにあれをやらせたっていうのか、知恵ね。
You didn't even have to convince her to do it specifically. You could have just exacerbated her spiral.
そうだったら最悪だって思うよ。鳥兜を香織さんが取ったのはおそらく朝だよね。それ以外暇はなかったし、ずいぶん早起きだったし、その時からみんなを殺す気だった。夜の間に吹き込まれたとするなら、話はわかるよね。
Yep.
そんな。でも夜に連絡する手は。
狼は2人いる。
まさか
香織さんが唯一残った息子のために一人で汚れを被る覚悟で残る人の皆殺しを狙ったなら。
私も人だもん。
最後に狼と人が残っても投票にならない。春ちゃんは何もできない。
嘘だよね、兄ちゃん。
やすくん？
ありえないんだ。だって母さんが狼だったら義継が死ぬわけがない。
But did she know about, like, here's the thing. Well, we've had comments where we thought, oh, what's the wolf strategy, implying they could strategize. You know, what if the wolves aren't always on the same page?
あいつを生かすために僕を殺すならありえたかもしれないけど、僕が頼んだって聞いてくれるわけがないだろう。母さんは僕よりあいつの方が好きなんだ。
And again, well, no, because no one had to kill Yoshitsugu. You just convinced him to leave at during the night or something. Because he wasn't killed by a person. He got killed by corruption.
知恵ね、あんまりよ。兄ちゃんがお母さんにそんなこと言うはずないじゃん。
別に私はヨシ君が殺されたとは言ってない。彼は単に夜出歩いて汚れを受けただけかもしれない。
There is that too. I guess it could be the case that Yoshitsugu just, for his own reasons, decided to leave at night without any input from anyone else.
それに香織さんは狼じゃなくても息子が狼だって知ったら汚れをいとわず助けるかもしれない。
そうやって都合のいいことを言って兄ちゃんをどんどん悪者にしようとしてるようにしか見えないわ。どうしちゃったのよ、知恵ね。私たちのことはどんな時だって守ってくれてたじゃん。あの人なの？不妻子さんがそうやって言えって。あの人に出会って知恵姉は変わっちゃったの？
そんなことはないよ。ただあの人の真似をして自分の頭で考えてみただけ。一番信じたくないことだって、それが真実である可能性からは目を背けるべきじゃないって。
それで思いつきで僕に対して絶縁状と同じ一票を送ろうって言うんだね。
だってらしくないんだもん。そうやって脅しみたいなことを言うヤス君がさ。
And again, this is where, you know, it being her and not, say, Haruaki comes into play. What with the communication game, the fact that she knows him is good stuff here.
私からしたら君だよ。変わっちゃったように見えるのはさ。
で、 結局どうするのかね。投票。
言ったことには責任を持たなきゃね。私はヤス君を疑ったから、それをちゃんと形に残すよ。
Sorry, Kyo.
で、結局どうするのかね。投票先は。では、織部安永に1票だ。
順番がずれましたけど、席順で言えばタイバーが最初でしょ。タイバーどうする？
私は香織さんにするわよ。上
Mm.
松様は確かに狼とは思えん。
あなたはどうします？野里さん。
今さらあなたなどと。私の答えは変わらんよ。それどころか、今の芹沢の言葉で気持ちが固まった。織部安永、君が狼とは正直今の態度からは考えづらいが、母親がそうだという可能性は高そうだ。
Your current attitude makes it hard to believe you are a wolf? Really? I'm not sure I understand that. But okay.
織部香織に1票。君はどうするのかね、織部安永。
変わらず上松里香子さんです。
私も上松里香子に投票するわ。
We got 2, 2, 1.
子供は
Okay, tiebreaker.
放棄でいいか。
I beg your pardon.
待って、メイコちゃん、よく考えて。あなたの票で人の勝ち負けが決まっちゃうかもしれないんだから。
知恵ねえ、そこまでするのか。小さい子にデタラメを吹き込んで票を奪おうなんて。
I mean, she's gonna be very biased against voting for Rikako, so I don't know if it's tricking, but it's certainly she has a vested interest in making her vote.
それしか手がないなら何だってする。メイコちゃん、リカコさんがいなくなったら嫌だよね。
She's going there.
だったら
無駄だよ。僕に投票させたって3人同率で決着がつかないだけだ。
いらない人選ぶの？
そうよ。
だったら
Who you don't need?
おばちゃん怖かったから。
それは食堂の女の人かね。決まりだな。
冗談だろ。そんないい加減なことで母さんが。
Ooh, taken down. My goodness.
それでも1票は1票だ。
兄ちゃん、終わった。
Wow. Okay. So interesting. Original thought was it was Haru. Excuse me. Original thought was that it was Yasunaga and Haru, potentially even Rikaku. That those were Haruaki's thoughts, but Chemi, taking it upon herself to reason her way through it, came to the conclusion that it might have been Yasunaga and Kaori who were the wolves the whole time. My goodness. And so, I guess to try and make it a bit more clear for myself. So Haruaki had the thought that, maybe Rikako, if Rikako was a wolf, she could have been potentially sacrificing herself for the other wolf, even though that might have been an inefficient strategy. I think what the conclusion that Chemi arrived here was that it was that strategy, I guess you could say, but instead of Rikako, it was actually Kaori who was the wolf, and she was sacrificing herself for the sake of the other wolf, which was probably Yasunaga. Okay. Wow. I gotta say, I'm worried about. I wanted to start clapping at one point because of Chemi, but I'm worried what that'll sound like on the microphone, so I didn't do it. But I gotta hand it to Chemi. I thought she was done, and she stepped up. So, good on her. That was great. And thus it'll be. I don't even see how it would be, but it would really suck if she ended up being a wolf. I don't think she is though. I'm gonna be with Harubaki and stick with the hope, the belief that she's one of the humans, maybe even a guardian. Who knows? We still don't know who the crow or what are the other ones? Snake, monkey, crow, spider. Yeah, crow's the only one we don't really know. We're pretty sure the spider's dead. Monkey, one of them's dead. Snake's dead. We don't know who the crow is. And we haven't even hung anyone, so we don't even know. The crow hasn't even been able to use their power. In any case... Ew, and that's, that also leads me to think that maybe we'll have multiple games of this, because the crow hasn't been able to do anything yet. Okay. This has been really fun. This has been a good episode, at least for me. I hope it was for you. I didn't do it, but I'd like to give a round of applause for Chemi. That was great. Next time, I guess we might have our first hanging, actually, because we haven't had one yet. But yeah, so that'll be quite something. Anyway, I hope you'll be there for that. I've been The Worm. This has been Raging Loop, and I hope you are all well. See you next time.